Okay, hello YouTube. Want to talk a tad about uh, script flipping, and that's exactly what I felt like was going to happen, uh, and exactly what did transpire for the Olympics. The artist, for lack of a better word, I don't think he's an artist. I think he's a smut peddling child liker. Uh, Came out the day after the Olympic opening and said, all of them did, by the way, the whole commission came out saying that they wanted to create inclusion and used the Last Supper of Christ to do it. Now, all of a sudden, as of midday yesterday, they're trying to say all this came from paganism, European paganism, and Greek mythology. And don't be fooled by that. Don't be fooled by that. The horse you saw at the end, if you watched it, was the pale horse. The trannies and sitting at the table was the Last Supper. They did have the god of sex and pleasure up there, who is from, if I'm not mistaken, Greek mythology. They're putting out, here's what they're bombarding everyone with: that we're stupid, that we're no account, that we're rednecks, whether we're black, white, green, gold, or yellow, and that if anyone had read a book, they'd know about it. Now, I'm going to give you a little story here. Back when I was in the ninth grade, instead of, now this was in the Carolinas, instead of teaching grammar, just dead on grammar, writing skills, and whatnot, and thorough knowledge of the language. Now, this is back in my day, and a few years afterward, I'm sure, but I don't know how long afterward. But this is just an example from a couple of states. I'll say the Carolinas. They were teaching for half of the year, a little over half of the year, Greek mythology. I wasn't into that. I didn't like it. I didn't want nothing to do with it. There was so much dislike for it, year after year after year, my year, or year by year by year, my year included, that we got curved on the half a year of Greek mythology in English class. And they put up grading curves. So anybody, whether you did anything or you did nothing, we got a C all through for that half of the year. And I chose to do next to nothing. I didn't give a crap about it, didn't want to know about it, wasn't interested in it, and thought it was Antichrist back then at that young age, and still do. The weirdos out here today pushing this smut are a little bit younger than me, and I believe they had all this Greek mythology in the ninth grade, so therefore they're telling the rest of us how stupid we are. Now, back in my day, and this has been many years ago in the ninth grade, only the weirdos and miscreants were into that shit. Only the weirdos, homos, and S miscreants were into that. Now, I don't know if that would have been all the grades before me or all the grades after me, but I can tell you in the 9th grade, out of all the high school 9th grade English classes, and there were many of them, we had 4 English teachers with 30 people classes with 7 classes a day. So if you do the math, that was hundreds of kids. And nobody was interested in it except the weirdos, the miscreants, the S miscreants. And these are the people that's in charge of the shit today. The miscreants, the malcontents. And don't let them tell you you're stupid. And I'll give you an example as to why. I wasn't the greatest high school student by no means, but I did go on to get a university degree. I was accepted to 2 law schools. I did not end up going to law school, but I was easily accepted to 2 law schools, exclusive law schools. And so I'm not the dumbest guy in the basket. And I'm just not very educated on mythology. But they flipped the script on that because they came out day one and admitted what they had done wrong with the Last Supper and the pale horse and all of that. And now they're wanting to change it. So I'm telling all the athletes yet again, get up and come home now. If you are an athlete there, you feel uncomfortable, contact me. I will find a way to get you an early ticket home if you want to go home and you want to get out of there. We will quickly go fund that. And don't feel pressured to stay. To all the athletes, don't feel pressured to stay there. To the trainers, don't feel pressured to stay. To the coaches, don't feel pressured to stay. You have no allegiance to anything if you are a Christian that is flying in the face of Christ. You have no allegiance to anything. That means if you are British, you are still patriotic to Britain. You're more patriotic to Britain if you get up and go home. You're more patriotic to the U.S. if you get up and you go home. You're more patriotic to the values of Western society if you get up and go home. We're not watching anything. We're boycotting the Olympics. That is what it is. I'm still disappointed. I want everyone to know, because I know people are going to be, oh, he's a racist old man. I want everyone to know that I have been vigorous in my expulsion of black boxing social media, because I haven't seen anybody stand. This does not include, when I say black, I mean African American, because the Africans are standing up against this smut. I'm talking specifically African American boxing channels. When I put the video out yesterday, which is giving black or African American boxing channels pure hell, I'm standing by that. You still deserve it. You're waiting 3 or 4 days to see which direction the wind's blowing. There's no excuse. There is no excuse. If you haven't stood up against this blasphemy, you won't stand up for Christ in any capacity. You're just mouth running, like sympathy garnering. And it's no good. I have seen on African American baseball channels, African American football, African American, even basketball, and African American general sports channels speaking up more than anyone against this smut. And white and Chinese and Latino and everybody. The absent group is the cowards in the black boxing channel. I'll mention a couple of them. The blue blood sport guy, Coach Malachi over there at True Media, whatever. Just skimming right over it, talking about Clarissa Shields acting like none of it ever happened, not caring. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, both of these guys are half-ass Islamic. I'm not sure about that. When I say half-ass Islamic, I mean the 8-minute African American Islamic, which is not real Islam. See, even the Islam is standing up against this crap. All religions are. But the problem is the African American boxing channels. You've been silent. You've been cowardly. And you guys ain't that bright in the African American boxing channel venue. I'm going to be honest about it. None of you are very bright. But you can't be that stupid to play ignorant that you don't know what's going on and what went down in the Olympics. You've just chosen to be cowardly. You've just chosen to be cowardly. And you are not cut from the cloth of Lewis, Frazier, Ali, Liston, Cleveland Williams, Kenny Norton, George Foreman, the Mongoose, Jack Johnson. You're not cut from any of that cloth. You're a victim, and you're scared, and that's what you always have been. And you need to grow up, and you need to defend this. You're letting all of us know, black, white, green, gold, and yellow, just how really blatantly soulless you folks are. And I'll leave that at that.